We're back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Now, in this video, we're going to discuss Clov stock, Clover Health Investments, what's going on with it, and how today's strength is actually signifying true strength, or is this a bull trap? We're going to talk about all of that in just a moment, key levels to watch. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run of the day that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. We're going to jump into everything here with Clov stock, Clover Health Investments. The home run of the day was spectacular, guys, and if this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, I would like to invite you to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together. So we talked about this morning GRNQ and MRIN. Now MRIN turned out to give us a 5 to 10% jump, 3 to 5% jumps, but GRNQ was the home run of the day, guys. 30% plus at its highest point. Started watching it in the pre-market, jumped up 3 to 5%, pulled back down, jumped up nearly 10% in a matter of minutes, pulled back, and in just 30 minutes after the bell, hit a highest point of 30% plus, guys. If this is something you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to. The link is down below in the description, and we look forward to having you join us. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with Clov stock, Clover Health Investments, and when you zoom out on this chart, the chart does not look that strong, and it almost looks like it's in a very bearish position and state. Now we're going to look at some things here because we have a lot of investors expecting a squeeze to come. Now, if a squeeze does happen, I have stated in the videos before, do not expect it to be exactly the same as this. It could be worse than this, or it could be better than this, right? Going all the way up to $28, or break through it, or not even reach it. So it's not really focusing right now on Clover Health if there's going to be a squeeze or not. If not, looking at its value where it currently sits and how it reacted on earnings, guys. On earnings, this stock jumped up from $8 all the way up to $10 and some change the day of the aftermarket hours and the next pre-market, and since then it's been pretty bearish. Now, I stated that that was looking like a bull trap, and I've talked about the barcoding that happened here. A lot of investors have heard me like a broken record state. That was a state right there in the chart that I just didn't really like, right? Just looked like weakness was on its way, and to see barcoding at 30-minute time frames is really, really rare. Like, you'll never really see stocks just kind of barcoding like that in a 30-minute time frame. You'll see it in 1 minute, 5 minute, or a penny stock, right? Something below $5, but not something at $9, which was, like I said, very interesting, especially that date that there was a lot of volume going on. Now, another thing to pay attention to is volume, right? Average volume has been going lower and lower in the last 10 days, and the daily volume is nowhere near it. So that goes to show how the stock is in a state of weakness because not enough volume is picking up the stock. And if it does push it up a little bit, all it takes is a little bit of more volume to the outside of things, right? Like instead of inflowing, outflowing out of the stock to push it down just a bit, right? So today, from yesterday to today, actually, it had a nice movement. We're going to look at key levels here, but I want you guys to remember the narrative. And the narrative has always been that analysis price targets still point this up to the upside, and it's important to be aware that where the stock currently sits, it still has about a 20% upside potential. Well, currently where it sits at 777, it's actually about a 15%, but at the average price target, it's 22%, and at the $10 price target, it's around 25 to 30%. So there is room here for this stock to possibly go up just based off of analysis price targets and the fundamentals and technicals going on with the stock. Anything beyond that is anything to do with short squeezes or short float, which is what we're going to look at in just a moment. And the short float is pretty big. Now, this stock has been shorted heavily before, and we saw what happened, right? It had mini jumps before the big jump. So these right here were small short squeezes that jumped from $7 to almost 10 3 times, and the highest was 11, came back down, and then at that $6 mark, it started to reverse and take off. So before these small jumps here, I talked about this stock in the 7s. It jumped up to 11, giving about a 10 to 30% opportunity within those jumps. And then on the way down, I talked about it a week before. It hit that low at $6. I've shown that post before, and then it took off 4x. Did everyone expect that? No, we expected that there would be a reversal at some point, and I was expecting something similar to what we saw here, or maybe a little bit more, and it went beyond expectations. Now, in the current state that the stock is in, we're back to these levels where we've watched it before, which is in the 7s. And the big question is, could it go towards the 52-week low? Well, that's a possibility, and it could possibly even break through that if it goes into further weakness. Now, one of the biggest things right now holding this stock down and not allowing it to go any higher is the short float. So let's go ahead and look at it here. So the short float is 22%, and that's pretty high, guys. 20% or more is pretty high. If this continues to go higher, it might push the stock even lower and actually create a bigger potential for a short squeeze. So that is something to be aware of. Now these are some of the previous price targets, and some of them have been initiated and not touched, and some of them have already been downgraded. And one of the main ones is JP Morgan. Started off at 15 and it's at 9. But the most important thing right now, based off of what we see here, there is pretty high short interest. The stock continues to fall lower, and let's look at the key levels that are going to be important going into Monday and the rest of the week. So the lowest point that we saw was 742. I've talked about if this broke through 750 to watch between 750 and $7. It got out of that, but it's trying to fight and stay above 750. You could see it here at 757 being the low of today, and after hitting 742 it bounced back, and the highest point that it reached is up here at 788. So that definitely needs to break through 788 to start pushing higher and continue that momentum. But if this stock starts going into weakness, it's important to watch 757 to 742 how this reacts. And if it breaks through 742, it's going to be a very important pivotal moment to watch this between 742 and $7, how it reacts, and if the bulls can hold themselves up above $7. Because if this breaks through $7, we will go into the 6s, and no one knows how low. We don't know the bottom, and if even this can touch the 5s, at least the high 5s, if it breaks through the 52-week range low, right, which was 631, and that is something that has not been touched in months, and it's going to be something to monitor and pay close attention to. Now, I have always said the lower this goes, the bigger the opportunity if there is going to be a short squeeze, but that's not the main focus. If not, the price targets that analysis ratings have given this are still showing potential of 10 to 20%, 20 to 30% so far based off of what we see, and some of the highest ones are showing anywhere from 20 to 50% from the current levels. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.